It's great to welcome in Charlie Clark of the Hilton-Bluffton Chamber of Commerce. We've talked about summer. We've done that already. Summer, we're going to talk issues. You guys have got a lot of things going on with folks who are making a difference. We have a new housing director, czar, whatever, on Hilton Head Island. Tell us about it.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit on Power Hour this week with some great information. Quincy White, who is the new CHO for the town of Hilton Head Island, the Chief Housing Officer.
Okay.
He's going to talk about where we are with workforce housing. You know, the project, the North End project that's been much discussed, is coming into play. And so where are we with that? Where do we stand with workforce housing, and what's next on the agenda for Quincy and his team?
Yeah.
Anxious to hear that.
I am indeed. Saltwater intrusion. Now, we saltwater, we go to the beach for that. We're getting it in places we should not be getting? Is that
we are getting it in
area?
places. Yeah, you know, it's not uncommon. Pete Nardi is at the helm of water and sort of I would say the chief water officer, if you'd like, for Hilton Head Island. He's going to talk a little bit about the saltwater intrusion on our wells. Of the 14 wells that we have, there's some saltwater intrusion in about 10 of them. So what does that mean? What does that mean for your drinking water? How are they mitigating that? It's a relatively common problem for other locations like ours, and great lengths are being taken to make sure our drinking water is safe.
And both of those are on this week's Power Hour?
They're both on this week's Power Hour. And also, you know,
how do folks get it? Let's go back to square one.
Super easy.
How do folks?
If you go to our website, hiltonheadblufftonchamber.org, you can click and it'll take you right to the link. We started this about 4 years ago, Bob, because we wanted to be a great source of information straight from the source. You can ask questions. You can ask questions if you have them, and it's just a great way to get unfiltered information straight from the source on some of the hot topics that our community has said, this matters to us. We're also going to have Emily Burden on from Bluffton.
Okay.
You know, she's the newest town council member. She's had a little time in the chair now to kind of sit and what's your vision and what do you see for the future of Bluffton, and what are your top priorities as you move forward into your term on council?
And with the changes in the Bluffton at the top, with Mayor Sulka finally retiring and Larry Toomer taking over, there's some movement going on.
Yeah, lots going on. Obviously, the growth is no secret to anyone on that front. So how is that growth being managed? What's in the plan? And I think that's a great place to ask those questions in Power Hour. And then coming up, we're actually, believe it or not, going to do a Power Hour on power.
Yeah.
We're going to do an actual, it's something that we often don't think about, but it's an issue in South Carolina, and it's an issue that's creeping into the Lowcountry. So many new things happening with electric vehicles. And how does that impact your power? How does it impact the power for your home? Because it does.
We would think that electric outlets on the island, particularly for the new electric vehicles, that's no big deal. We put a bunch of them in, the island's all electrified, everything will be great.
But there's a grand power draw.
Yeah,
there are pressures on the power grid with that, of the amount of power it takes to do some of the things that are happening now in our world. So we're just going to focus an entire hour on what does it mean? Because it does have an impact. It's one of those issues you don't think it does, but it does.
You gave me a number on the impact, or at least something to really latch onto.
Well,
Tell me the impact.
well, you know, it was communicated to us through some of the power folks around the state that when you see a lineup of electric vehicle charging stations, that's great. That seems to be where we're headed, what we're doing. People don't realize the pull of that could be equivalent to the pull of a major resort, so to speak. So the power pull is big. And so what are we doing as a state to mitigate and plan for the future so that we don't have the issues? Some states have brownouts. You know, some states are really facing some serious issues with their power grid. So planning matters.
Yeah, your home state of Texas still wrestling with that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Summer
definitely.
and winter time. All right.
And hurricane season. We're obviously going to be doing some things coming up and just reminding people to be prepared.
It's underway, that's for sure. Thanks so much, Charlie. We appreciate the time, as always.
Great to be here.
Charlie Clark of the Hilton-Bluffton Chamber of Commerce. Again, you can find out more about the Power Hours just by clicking on their website. And it's Wednesday mornings, and it's over in an hour, and it's a terrific way to learn a whole lot of new things. Thanks, Charlie.
Thanks.
We will be back with more of the WHHI Daily News right after this.